Who wants to go to Disneyland? Everyone wants to go to Disneyland. But at the risk of sounding super obvious, it's really expensive. Tickets, parking, hotels, food, souvenirs, an expensive family trip can easily turn into a very expensive family trip. So in this episode of Fresh Baked, we're going to do our best to save you at least some of that money. These are our top 10 Disneyland money savers. Disneyland may be the most photographed place on Earth, but we highly recommend skipping that photopass. Worst case scenario, they're $15 per download. Yes, for each photo. Best case scenario, it's $70 for a CD with unlimited photos. But, I mean, you've got a camera, right? Even a decent smartphone will do the trick. And isn't it more fun taking your own pictures? Selfies are a thing. Characters love taking selfies, by the way. Love it. This is one of the reasons why I think self-taken photos are better than the photopass photos, because they're yours and you can take them anywhere you want. But, do go ahead though and have the photopass guys take your photos if you like. It doesn't cost you anything to have them take the photo, only to download it. Plus, if you're cool about it, they'll even take one with your camera. Okay, again, try not to sound obvious, but the Disneyland Hotel, Grand Californian, and Paradise Pier hotels are incredibly expensive. Rates start at $259 at Paradise Pier, $329 for Disneyland Hotel, and $379 for the Grand Californian. I can't even comprehend this personally, especially when the ideal plan for most vacationers is to not be in the hotel room. Meanwhile, the good neighbor hotels, those hotels approved by Disney, can be had in the $140 to $200 range. They're off-site, but they all have free shuttles to the park as well as other amenities. So I guess it can be said that you do get what you pay for, to some extent at least, with the off-site hotels. So how much you save is relative to how much you're willing to accept or endure, depending on how low you go. Not sure I can say the same, though, for the hotels on property. I mean, they're nice, and it's great being able to walk through downtown Disney and get in the park pretty quickly, but I can't say they're $200 a night nicer, especially not for those who are on a budget. Now let's get into tickets. Not much we can do about the actual cost of the ticket. Prices are what the prices are, but we can advise you on what tickets to get. You see, they really do make that park hopper sound fun and inexpensive. It's just $56 more to see both parks. You're saving half the cost of the ticket. Thing is, you can get lost in Disneyland and not come up for air before your possibly 16-hour day is over. You can even come back and do the same thing again the next day and the next. On the other hand, DCA is barely a one-day park. It might even be a half-day park. But Disneyland is a lifetime park. Save that $40 to $56 per ticket and just hang out at the happiest place on Earth. For a family of 4, that's a savings of $224 for a single day and discounted to $160 for anything more than a day. That's a lot of churros, man. It seems like a no-brainer to suggest getting an annual pass, but do your homework first before getting one. It's possible not getting one saves you money. The answer to whether or not you should get one depends on an honest evaluation of how often you intend to visit. First, do your basic math. As of today, a single day ticket is $99, while a Signature Plus passport, that's the passport that gets you on any day, goes for $1,049. That means you need to visit at least 10 times just to break even. And that's more than you think, you guys. Now, the next level down, the No Christmas Season Pass, is $849 or 8.5 visits per year. This is the one I recommend for the really hardy visitors. But really, what you need to ask yourself is, would I go 8.5 times a year if I did not have a pass? If the answer is yes, or even a marginal maybe, then go ahead and get one. You'll find the time to make up those visits. But if you can't honestly say you'll visit 8 times in a year, obviously don't get one. See, the temptation when looking at getting an AP is to say that, oh, well, we'll just go there for a few hours for dinner maybe, or see a show at night. But it's not that easy anymore. Going to the park today is not a casual thing. It requires a real commitment, even if going for only a couple of hours. So be honest when making this decision, and you'll find that maybe you can save a few hundred with a more economical choice, including not getting an annual pass at all. Don't buy souvenirs, like ever. They're really expensive, and they don't add much to your actual in-park visit. I mean, I do get that it's fun to shop at Disney, and it's super nice to have a memento of your trip, But just like eating in the park, it's an easy way to visit more simply. Do what I do and collect memories, fast passes, park maps, things that are given to you as part of a special event like wristbands or badges. And whatever you do, if budgeting is a high priority for you, do not collect anything. That means no Vinylmations, no pins, no coffee mugs. There's no end to these hobbies. There's no finish line, only obsession. Now this one might be a little hard to comply with, but it sure can't help. Don't eat at the park at all. Instead, bring your own food. Many don't know you can do this, but you most definitely can. Just no bottles. I was at the Golden Horseshoe once and watched a family of 4 pull out bags of Carl's Jr. right out of the car. They were in the Carl's Jr. bag. Now, back in the day, the boy and I did this on a regular basis, but we made our own sandwiches and brought our own water in plastic bottles. But if you're in a big family and can't carry around a bunch of food in a backpack, you can bring in one of those igloo coolers and store it in a locker. You just have to keep it outside the gates. But there's a really nice picnic area with lockers by the front gate where you can go, sit and have lunch and watch the monorails go by, or listen to the train, or even listen to the Jungle Cruise. It's really cool, and it's a great way to have an economical meal at the park. Okay, so if you can't avoid eating at Disneyland completely, at least skip the snacks. Just one batch of churros for that family of 4 is $16. On a full day, you could easily snack twice. And depending on how long your stay is, this really adds up. Want an ice cream from Ghirardelli's? That'll be $11 please, and that's just for one, you guys, one. So bring in some trail mix. You can get an enormous bag of it at Target for like $8 that will last for days. It tastes great and it's healthier than popcorn, which by the way, is just about the worst way to spend $5 at the park if you ask me. It makes you thirsty, doesn't fill you up at all, and provides very little in the way of health benefits. But on those long, grueling days, trail mix will actually keep your energy at a higher level. So that's a win-win if you ask me. Alright, so you like eating at the park, I get that. I enjoy it myself, it's part of the magic, right? Themed restaurants are fun. But there is definitely one thing I would suggest you never do under just about any circumstances, and that's eat breakfast at the park. Short of a once-in-a-blue-moon character breakfast, which, by the way, is also enormously expensive, there's no real added benefit to eating breakfast at the park. It's very expensive everywhere. Here, 12 ounces of orange juice is $4.50. You got cinnamon rolls for $6. And there's pretty much nothing Disneyland can do to make your scrambled eggs taste better when you're inside the gates. Same for pancakes, even the Mickey-shaped ones. Nope, pancakes are pancakes, cold eggs are cold eggs. Have your breakfast off-site, you guys. Staying on the food tip, there are some meals at Disneyland that are more economical than others. Take any of the pasta meals served at Pizza Port, for example. The chicken fusilli and the spaghetti with meatballs are served generously and can easily feed 2. What about burgers? Maybe 2 adults can't share one, but the boy and I have shared many. The pastrami burger at the Village House, for example, is pretty big. Also, most of the dinner plates served at Rancho del Zocalo are more than an average person can eat, in my universe at least. I suppose there are many that can, but dang man, they give you a lot of food for your money. As far as inexpensive meals go, we can't forget the Earl's sandwich over in downtown Disney. A typical sandwich at Earl's is about $6.99. A similar sandwich in the park would be $9 or $10. And they also have many fairly priced salads and sides, like $2.50 for potato salad and $2 brownies. On the other hand, avoid pizza anywhere. First, it just doesn't taste good. Not any of it at any place in the park. Maybe Naples and downtown. But really, more importantly, relative to the portion, it's way overpriced. A single slice of pepperoni at Pizza Port is right now at $7.50. That's for one slice. And if that doesn't scare you, how about a $34 pizza for a whole pizza? And we're saving the most important tip for last, and it's important because it's the hardest tip to actually put to work. Our number one tip is to plan your trip expenses carefully, set a budget, and then stick to that budget. Sounds easy, but that last is the hardest part, sticking to it. Before you set foot out your front door on your way to the park, you should have a number in mind for tickets, food, and souvenirs. A very specific number. Just like you should never go to the grocery store on an empty stomach or without a list, you should never go to the park without a budget and a plan. Now this requires brutal honesty though. Most people underestimate how much they're going to spend because you just can't anticipate how much cool stuff you're going to find at the park. But I mean, everything you see is awesome and you want to buy it all, but it adds up really, really fast. So once you've reached your daily spending limit, it's time to say no. And you'll often have to say no to the same thing more than once, or twice, or even 3 times or more if you have kids, am I right? Set a budget, be honest. then say no when the time comes. Your wallet will thank you, and you won't go home angry at the park for being so expensive. And that's our top 10 money-saving tips for going to Disneyland. Hope we helped you guys in some way. If you have any other helpful tips yourself, leave a comment below and share with your fellow Muffins. And until next time, fresh baked! We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out our Star Wars Land updates from the Knothole Gang, or maybe our Secrets in History videos. Or you can just watch all of our weekly trip reports and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Baked Fresh Daily. And don't forget, you can support Fresh Baked by joining our Patreon campaign or by buying a Fresh Baked t-shirt. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Fresh Baked!